So I'm given a nums which is a rotated sorted array. That means this is 4, 5, 6, 7 like this, followed by 0, 1 and 2. What I need to find is whether the target is present or not. So if target is present, in that case I will return the index, otherwise -1. So what I can see, this is 4, 5, 6, 7 followed by 0, 1, 2. Since this half is sorted and this half is sorted, I can do binary search on these two independently. So what I will do, I'll first find the pivot index. So this is the pivot index. So how to find the pivot index? So this is 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 0, 1, 2. So I'll put the indices over here. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I have my low over here and high over here. So my mid will be low plus high by 2, which turns out to be 3. So this is my mid. Now I compare my nums of mid with nums of right. Okay, right or maybe high. So if this is strictly increasing, if this would have been something strictly increasing, in that case mid and high, nums of mid would have been less than nums of high. Okay, however in this case we can see nums of mid is greater than nums of high. So in that case, definitely I need to find the lowest element, so that will give me the pivot index. So definitely in this case I will do my high. So this is 7 greater than 2. In this case what I will do, I'll do my high is equal to mid plus 1. Okay, so now sorry, my low, this will be my low. So my now low goes to 4 and my high goes to 6. Okay, so this is my low over here. Okay, now again when I calculate my mid, this turns out to be 5. Now I compare my nums of 5, nums of mid and my nums of this is nums of high. My nums of mid, this will be my mid, this is 1 and this is 2. My nums of mid is less than nums of high. In this case I can do my high is equal to mid. Okay, since this is a smaller element, so this could also be the least element. So I update. So my high goes from high to mid. Okay, so this is my high and I erase this. So now again when I calculate, my low is equal to 4 and my high is equal to 5. When I calculate the mid, this turns out to be 4. Okay, now I calculate my nums of mid and nums of high. Again over here this is 0 and this is 1. In this case I do my high as mid. Okay, so my high moves from this position to this position. So now I was running a while loop while my low less than high. Okay, over here my high and low become equal. In this case I would simply return my high. So over here I get my pivot index as 4. Okay, so I do my binary search. I start from 0 for the first one, go up till pivot index -1. For this will be pivot index comma the nums of size -1 and I send in my target. Okay, whichever has got my target, out of that I'd simply return. Okay, I'll simply return the index. So over here I find the size of the given vector nums and then I find the pivot index. So I call a help function. Okay, I pass my nums followed by my starting index and ending index. Okay, and then I call the binary search twice. So I say binary search one answer is equal to, I call this binary search function. I send my nums starting index, and this will be pivot index -1 followed by target. Okay, and similarly I call my binary search to answer. So for this, my starting index will be pivot index and the ending index will be n-1. Okay, now I need to return the max, since if the one which will not have the target will return -1. Okay, so I could return the max of these two, that is binary search one answer and binary search two answer. Okay, now I write the function called help. So take this will take the nums. Okay, so this will say nums. So this is, and nums is a vector of type I32. Okay, followed by it will take a mutable variable low, which is an integer, and a mutable variable high, which is also an integer, and this will give me as an integer and as an answer. So I say while my L is less than H, I calculate my mid. Okay, so my mid is equal to low plus high minus low by 2. Okay, now if my middle element is greater than the last element, that is the pivot must be in the right. So I say if my nums of m is greater than my nums of right or the high, in that case my L is equal to m plus 1, else my else my high is equal to mid, because the pivot is on the left half including the middle. So after coming out, now L and H point to the same pivot index, so I simply return H. Okay, now I'll write my binary function which will take nums, low, high and a target. Okay, so I'll copy this, followed by this will take a target as well of type 32, and this will return me an integer. So I do while L less than equal to H, I calculate my mid. Okay, so now if my nums of mid is equal to target, in that case I would simply return my mid. Else if my nums of mid is less than target, in that case I will do L is equal to mid plus 1, otherwise my high will be equal to mid minus 1. Okay, post that I'll simply return -1 if I'm not able to find. Now let me submit this. Oops, I was in the wrong place. This should be over here. I was facing some issue with the internet, so this is the final code. Let me submit this.